Doo-doo-dee. It's Nandi!
Hello friends, today we are covering the Hollan quest. On screen are the characters I've used along with the relevant required ability levels for each of them. I really didn't enjoy this quest because I had to kill the Tau, but I'm still doing this video for the greater good. The Ultramarines are usable for this quest to make it more new player friendly, but you won't be able to get a maximum score if you use them. My quest guide will give you strategies to achieve a 100% score, but if you are a newer player who just wants to complete the levels with the main campaign characters, check out Tacticians United for his quest guide. There is one thing to highlight about quests that is particularly relevant for Hollan. If a character ends the quest with more health than their starting health, then they will still score full points, as if they haven't taken any damage. Hollan's passive grants bonus health to your characters permanently, so it's worth bearing this in mind to boost your score. For Common 1, we are only allowed to deploy melee characters. We start by deploying a Tyranid warrior on the right side of the map to kill a fire warrior. The Tyrant Guard runs up the middle and eats some Overwatch hits before attacking an enemy fire warrior. Hollan follows and summons an Aberrant to kill the fire warrior on the left. We heal the Tyrant Guard with Hollan before ending the fight. For Common 2, we position in such a way that Sibyl's passive grants protection from Overwatch to our units. Cut moves along the left side and uses his active to weaken the enemy units. Now that he is in melee with them, they cannot make ranged Overwatch attacks, and Sibyl finishes them off. Hollan adds his Aberrant to kill a drone, and Thaddeus kills a fire warrior on the right side. The enemies all attack our summoned unit, and the rest of our units use basic attacks to kill the remaining enemies. For Common 3, it's a little tricky. Thaddeus attacks first and kills a fire warrior on the left. Cut melee attacks the sniper drone on the left. Hollan and Zybia are protected from Overwatch through Sibyl's Shroud. Hollan moves forward and summons an Aberrant on the barbed wire, which kills the right side fire warrior. Zybia kills the other sniper drone, and Sibyl moves forward again. The enemies should kill Zybia and the Aberrant, but they both respawn through their ambush mechanic. That's probably the key sequence of events. I had to do this stage a couple of times because there is an element of RNG and unpredictable enemy AI that means you might get slightly different results. Still, this was the most consistent opening that I found. After that, it's the usual case of healing and finishing the fight. For Uncommon 1, our units are again protected from Overwatch through Sibyl. Thaddeus attacks and kills the fire warrior on the right. We move our forces forward and summon the Aberrant. The enemies attack our summon. On third 2, Thaddeus attacks Revas to remove her Overwatch. Sibyl and Hollan finish off the remaining enemies and just leave a fire warrior on the board to clean up on the last turn after healing up. Again, some RNG here depending on how many hits the drones soak up when you attack Revas. For Uncommon 2, we spend our first turn staying back out of enemy range. Sibyl stays at the back to provide her passive to the team, and we summon with Hollan. On turn 2, Cut uses his grenade on Revas. Thaddeus kills a fire warrior on the right, and Sibyl attacks some drones while Hollan heals Cut. After that, we just heal and finish the fight. For Uncommon 3, we start with an attack from Neurothrope on the right-hand drone, followed by the Tyranid warrior summon on the right as well. Our troops on the left join the main force, and we add Hollan's summon to the battlefield. Revas aggressively uses her active here, and we fly back onto the high ground with the Neurothrope to attack Revas on turn 2. This summons a Hormigaunt in melee and prevents ranged Overwatch attacks. That allows the rest of our team to move around cleaning up the battlefield without fear of Overwatch. There are so many summons in the battlefield that it is trivial to heal and finish the fight. For Rare 1, we send Cut along the left flank to tank some Overwatch hits. We summon with Hollan onto the barbed wire and finish off the enemy with Cut's basic attack. Thaddeus follows on the left and attacks the left-sided Fire Warrior. We heal Cut on turn 2 and continue to work through the Fire Warriors until we win the fight. There's a similar strategy for Rare 2. Cut moves along the left to tank the Overwatch hits, he kills a Fire Warrior and then Thaddeus kills another. Hollan applies some heal and bonus health to Cut. We keep killing Fire Warriors and healing for an easy victory. For Rare 3 we summon with Yarrick and then Hollan on the frontmost Fire Warrior. On turn 2, Sybil finishes off a drone. Yarrick does some damage to the top left Fire Warrior, and Hollan damages the drone in the middle. On turn 3, Hollan heals Yarrick and we finish off the last Fire Warrior. The Aberrant tanks some damage and we can finish off on the final turn. For Rare 4, our units start the battle under Sybil's protective shroud. Hollan moves along the left and summons an Aberrant to attack the left Fire Warrior. The Tyranid Warrior is summoned in the middle to kill another Fire Warrior. Thaddeus finishes the left Fire Warrior off and we wait for the enemy advance. They all attack our summons. Sybil and the Winged Prime kill 2 more Fire Warriors on the near side of the bridge. Thaddeus is active, does some damage to the Fire Warriors on the other side, and Hollan adds some heals. Then we finish the battle off, while the Fire Warriors continue to focus on our summons. For Rare 5, Cut moves along the left first to tank some Overwatch shots. Sybil follows behind and the 2 kill a Fire Warrior. Thaddeus attacks and kills a Fire Warrior on the right, then our remaining characters add some summons to the battlefield. Again, the summons eat up enemy attacks. On turn 2, we kill all the remaining Fire Warriors and heal up Cut Skoden. We heal up and finish the fight on our final turn. For Epic 1, we start by summoning with the Winged Prime to kill a Fire Warrior. Cut tanks some Overwatch and then kills a Fire Warrior too. Hollan follows behind and adds a summon to the squad. We heal Cut on turn 2 with Hollan and continue to work through the Tau Force to victory. Epic 2 involves a lot of summons. Nero attacks first against the drone, summoning a Hormagaunt in melee to the Fire Warrior and shutting off his Overwatch. We move Yarrick and Hollan into position on the right. Yarrick then summons with his guardsmen to kill a drone, and then Hollan summons an Aberrant in the newly vacated space. We add a Tyranid Warrior to the team on the top left. 6 summons on turn 1 is pretty good and forms the mainstay of the strategy for this level. The Winged Prime attacks another drone on turn 2 to add another Gaunt to the team, and it is fairly trivial to clean up after that. For Epic 3, we start with Sybil's Protective Shroud. Thaddeus and Nero move up the right flank and attack the 2 Fire Warriors, killing one and injuring the other. We summon with Hollan to soak up some enemy hits and pass the turn. On turn 2, Thaddeus' active starts us off on Rayvas, disabling Overwatch. Neurothrope kills a drone and Yarrick adds 3 guardsmen to the field. The Aberrant respawns on turn 3 and that is probably the key sequence for this stage. The Aberrant demolishes the enemies and we just have to stay healthy to finish the fight. I only used 4 characters for the legendary stage, because it is basically carried by Hollan and his summon. We start with a Neurothrope attacking the drone, and the summoned Gaunt finishes it off. The Tyranid Warrior attacks Rayvas and creates another Gaunt. Thaddeus does more damage to Rayvas, and Hollan summons his Aberrant. The Aberrant and the Tyranid Warrior soak up enemy shots before we cycle back to our turn. Thaddeus finishes off Rayvas, the Neurothrope and Winged Prime kill Darkstrider, and Hollan heals his summon. You'll probably get some variance depending on your characters, but I found that was an easy enough start to let me heal and finish the enemies off. Okay, hope you enjoyed the quest. Thanks as always to my Patreons for the support. Bye for now.
Doo-doo-dee. It's Nandi!